Hello traders! In this video I will show you how we create strategies with EA Studio. There is the generator, which is the best thing in the software because based on the historical data that we have imported, we can create new strategies. We select the symbol, the period, and then we have strategy properties. We can decide here with what lot we want to create the strategies, but later when we put the expert advisors on MetaTrader, we can still change the lot, and I will stick to 0.1 lot. For stop loss and take profit, we have the option to select the range. So if I keep it from 10 to 100, it means that all strategies will have stop loss and take profit somewhere between 10 and 100 pips. It's up to you if you want to narrow the range, but I personally prefer to give the freedom of EA Studio to create the strategies with stop loss and take profit and to combine it with different indicators, and I keep it from 10 to 100. For the stop loss, I will stick to always use, so I will have always a stop loss for the strategies, and as well I will stick to fixed. There is the option to generate strategies with trailing stop loss, but I stick to fixed. And as well take profit, I always want to have one in my strategies. Now in generator settings, we have the option to select for how long we want the generator to be working. Usually I run it for 10 hours, which is 600 minutes, but let's give it a little bit more this time. I will give it to 720, which is 12 hours. Now it's late in the evening and I will leave it working until tomorrow and I will see what results I have, and usually I use it this way. I leave it in the evening and in the morning I see the results. The rest I will leave it this way. I want to search best by net balance, meaning that on the top I will see the strategies with most profit. Out of sample is a great tool that I will explain just in the next lectures. I will not use it now, I will leave it to in sample. And we have the option to select how many entries and how many exits we would like to have. And by default it was 4, but I just increased a little bit, 5. You have the option to use preset indicators, which means that if you have a favorite indicator, let's say MACD indicator, you can select it and add it, or you can find it as well in tools, preset indicators. And if you add any of the indicators, for example MACD, it will be always part of your strategy, and in every strategy you will have that indicator with that rule. It could be a different rule. MACD line crosses the 0 line upward, for example. And this indicator with this rule, with these parameters that you have set, will be always in your strategies. It will be in all the strategies that the generator will create. So basically the generator will use this indicator and will add some more, will add the stop loss and the take profit to build the strategy for you. Really cool thing, but I'm not going to use it in this course and in this example of generating strategies. Okay, so this is what the generator is about. It creates strategies based on the historical data that we have imported for the symbol, for the time frame we want. We have the range for the stop loss and the take profit, and we decide if we want to use some preset indicators or not. And very important at the end is the acceptance criteria, which allows us to set some rules for the strategies or to filter the strategies that the generator will show at the end in the collection. Usually I go with minimum count of trades every time, minimum of 300, or even more, I go to 500. What I said in the previous lecture is that the more count of trades we have, the more robust strategy it will be. Okay, because if we have the event of entry rule and exit rule many times, like 500 times for these 5 years of historical data, it means that this strategy executed many trades, and it's a strategy that we can rely on. If we have a strategy that executed just 10, 20, 50 trades for 5 years, well, we don't really know if this will continue to repeat in the future. So the more count of trades we have, the more robust strategies we get from the generator. And one more time, having fewer bars with more count of trades allows us to have more active strategies. And because I have refreshed the page from the previous lecture, I will go to data and data horizon, and I will check use start date limit one more time from 15th of July 2015. And today we are on the 15th of July 2020, so 5 years, and this is about 31,000 bars. Now the other thing I put in the acceptance criteria is the profit factor. Profit factor is very simple and it filters the strategies very well according to me, and it's calculated by the net profits divided by the net losses. Strategies with profit factor above 1.2 are really good, and basically everything we have above 1 shows that the strategy is profitable, right? We will have more net profit than net losses. However, 1.2 works great for me. Now if I press on start, the generator will start calculating strategies. However, I want to add something more, and this is the Monte Carlo, which is a robust tool that we have for each strategy. And before we were doing it manually, after we have some strategies in the collection, we were running Monte Carlo, multi-market, or any other robust tool, but now we have the reactor, which allows us to do the whole process automatically. So the reactor is generator plus optimization options. So all the strategies that are generated, we can optimize them either with full data optimization, very similar to MetaTrader optimizer, but this one works much faster. And then we have the walk forward optimization, a little bit more advanced tool. I'm not going into details about it. We have a lot of free videos on YouTube about this optimization. And then we have the normalization, and robustness testing is what I focus on. And I always use the Monte Carlo. What Monte Carlo does, with simple words, it performs variety of tests. So it's a backtest, but it backtests the strategies with randomized indicator parameters. So for example, if we have MACD 12.26.9, it will check with 13.26.9, 14.26.9, or 12.27.9, or 12.26.10. Basically, it will change the parameters. It will try to break the strategy, and if the strategy is still robust, it will perform well, and we will see all the results here. I will show you that later when we have some strategies ready. But for the moment, I will leave it like that. Generator plus Monte Carlo. And if I click on start, you will see how it goes. All the strategies are being calculated, and those that pass the acceptance criteria, they will go through the Monte Carlo. If they pass Monte Carlo, I will see them in the collection. Okay, this is how the reactor works. Really great, because it does everything automatically. Now, as I already said, the best thing with EA Studio is that we can run couple of reactors simultaneously. I will simply duplicate the tab, but make sure to keep it in a separate browser so it will work faster. And if you keep it active, it will be even better. Okay, very quickly, Dukas copy. Now I will go for euro dollar on H1 chart, and I will change the data horizon quickly. We set 15th of July 2015, and it will be until today if I don't check on use end date limit. Going back to the reactor, what we have, strategy properties is the same, let's have a look at the acceptance criteria. Working minute 720, and acceptance criteria, it has saved. Going back to the reactor, Monte Carlo is checked, and that's it. I'm ready to run the euro dollar. Press on start and it starts calculating for euro dollar. I will need to open now one more reactor for euro pound, but I make sure to use Dukascopy data that I have imported, and I will go for euro pound on H1 chart. Going quickly through the data horizon, and I will use start date limit 15th of July 2015. Reactor, I just check the strategy properties, generator settings, the acceptance criteria. Usually it saves, but I always make one more check, and then I am ready to go. Click on start, and here it is. Now what I have is 3 reactors running simultaneously. If you are doing that, make sure to follow the speed. You can see that because I have opened 3, it gets a little bit slower, but this is because I have too many tabs and browsers opened on this computer. I will make sure to close them to increase the speed, but if it gets slower, what you can do is just you can stop one of them and continue with the other 2. You can see the speed increases, or if I stop that one as well, I will push it just on the first one. So it depends on the computer you're using. And keep in mind that EA Studio works in the browser, so give it a try, see how it goes with 3, 4. It depends again what else you have opened on the computer, but if it gets really slow, you can just run one and then another one and then another one. Depends really what machine you're using. Alright guys, now I will leave it generating strategies for 12 hours, and once I have the results, I will continue and I will show you some more tricks about how I test the expert advisors before doing real trading with them. Thanks for watching the video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to like it, and you can subscribe to see more of our free videos. Bye.